All right. What'd you have for the Bills?
Zach Moss outscores Devin Singletary.
It's pretty bold. I like it, though. I've been avoiding pretty much all Bills at this point, but
Zach Moss, I've been grabbing in every draft.
I got you.
I think I don't know, and this sucks too because like last year I like Singletary the player, but I think Moss is better.
Yeah, that's definitely a weird spot to be in.
Well, it's really weird because if you look back at Singletary when he played in college, I'm trying to remember if it was Coastal Carolina where he's at. He scored a whole bunch of touchdowns. He was actually really good in the red zone. And then last year they're like, we're not going to give you any red zone carries. Then we're going to draft Zach Moss and give you even less red zone carries. And Moss is actually Moss can actually catch the ball out of the backfield. So he's already good so he's good in the red zone. He catches the ball. So it's like, why are we going to use Singletary?
Yeah, it kind of seems like they don't, like the coaching staff just doesn't like Singletary, which is weird. But
I don't know. He's like one of them players, like he's okay, but he's like not like he's okay to be your starter, but like if you find somebody better, he's just going to get replaced.
Yeah, and they drafted, in order to have that backup. Mm-hmm. I put Diggs as a bust outside of the top 30 and will be incredibly inconsistent, which Diggs kind of already was inconsistent, but I don't like Josh Allen. I especially don't like Josh Allen deep, and Diggs always has like a deep reception target ratio or whatever. So he's like completely off my board. He's one of those people when you're drafting, I just don't even see him.
I don't know. I don't like him because I don't think he's going to get enough volume.
Right.
Because they're already a run-heavy team. And then you're talking about with Josh Allen, he has a giant arm, but he's awful deep. Like he's got the worst completion percentage on deep throws in the league or something like that. And then he went from Kirk Cousins, who was like incredibly efficient at deep balls, to Josh Allen, who's like the worst.
Yeah, that's kind of how I view it. It was like I honestly found, even when they traded for him or whatever, signed him, that it was just like a weird fit to me. I'm like, man, that's not what that team needs, and it just made Diggs worse. Like I've taken Diggs in the past and been okay with it, but avoiding him now. Would you have?
Pretty much now with Diggs, you gotta have him run, instead of having him go deep, you gotta have him run that slant route and throw it to him and hope he can runs after the catch. And then another thing with Diggs is he never plays a full season either. He's always hurt somehow.
Yeah. What'd you have for the Dolphins?
Let's see. Jordan Howard finishes the season as a top 18 running back.
I can see it.
Chan Gailey is their new offensive coordinator. Their offensive line still sucks. Chan Gailey, every time he's been an offensive coordinator, the run game's been really good.
Right.
He's had a top 14 running back or something like that. He's had top 14 running back 6 out of his last 8 years as offensive coordinators. Something crazy like that, really. But I think with Fitzpatrick there, they're going to move the ball pretty well. And Howard's the goal line back. So I think it's pretty much just going to be all on the back of touchdowns.
Top 18. What's he being drafted at? Pretty late.
29.
Right, yeah. I can see it. He's a guy I'm always looking for that late because I just feel like there's no starting running backs left and people are taking you just dart throws, and he's definitely going to get the carries. Plus Breida, I don't know how much Breida even eats into him or if Breida can stay healthy. They just got rid of Kalen Balazs today, I think.
He's awful.
Yeah, Balazs was horrible to watch.
Did you see that? It was real funny. They're like, we cut him. And then it's like, oh, never mind. They just gave us a late round pick for him.
Yeah. I'm like, I don't know why the Jets want him, but okay.
Because Adam Gase likes him. It's so weird that Balazs is so bad in the NFL. Because he had an NCAA record, 7 touchdowns in one game in college.
Yeah, but anyone can have a good game.
Yeah. He was good in college. He just sucks in the pros.
He looks horrible in the pros. I don't know. Last year when they had Drake and him and they were actually competing for carries, I just couldn't even watch it. I have Gesicki top 8, and he's definitely a late round guy for me that I look for. He's just an athletic freak. I feel like last year he had 5 touchdowns or something like that, but he still had over 700 yards. Mm-hmm. So I can see the touchdowns going up, and if he can get to like 8 or 9 touchdowns, even with the same yardage, like it'll put him close.
It'd be interesting to see how much they throw to him in the red zone, and especially with Preston Williams coming back, because Preston Williams is real good down there.
Yeah.
But they got like no other wide receivers. It's just Preston Williams, Parker, and then Gesicki's like all their receivers they got.
Yeah, and obviously with the Dolphins, it's like kind of hard to predict because we don't know what's going to happen with Tua and Fitzpatrick. I kind of just been acting like Fitzpatrick's going to start like almost all year.
Yeah. Well, like it seems like Fitzpatrick, like you almost have to predict Fitzpatrick's going to start the first 8 games and Tua's going to start the last 8. But I think when if Tua comes in, it kills the offense.
Yeah, that's kind of what makes me nervous, but
I think that if he comes in, it actually helps Gesicki, and I think it helps Preston Williams more because they're big body guys, so he can kind of throw the ball up and they can kind of go get it. But with Gesicki, you want to guess how many tackles Gesicki broke last year?
No.
0.
I have no idea. 0? That's not good. But
no, especially for somebody that's like as athletic as he is.
Yeah, I figured he would have broke at least a couple, but
yeah, nope, none.
I mean, I think Witten was like the tight end 10 last year, and all that dude did after he caught the ball was fall down. So
he got like 8 yards of catch. 8 yards of catch or 8 yards of target. I can't remember which.
What'd you have for the Pats?
Patriots. I got Jacoby Myers ends the season as wide receiver 40.
I got you.
I don't know if you know much about Jacoby Myers.
Not really, but
so he was like a quarterback in college. He was undrafted free agent last year. When the Patriots had nobody else to throw to, he was all right. And the reports out of camp is N'Keal Harry sucks.
Gotcha.
And so then you got Edelman and Sanu, and Edelman and Sanu, like it's such an awkward combination because they both want to play in the slot. So it's like Sanu has to play on the outside, and Edelman has to play in the slot. So then it's like, who's the other outside wide receiver? And they're talking about, I can't remember what the guy's name is, Gunner something. He's like an undrafted free agent wide receiver they had last year. He's actually their punt returner last year. Supposedly he looks good in camp, but I don't know. I think Jacoby Myers, let me see if I can bring up what he did last year, because he had a couple good games last year. They haven't been talking much about him in camp, but I think he's like that guy that could just come out of nowhere and break out.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like someone on the Pats is going to be that. I don't really value Edelman. I have N'Keal Harry with 10 touchdowns, but I just like...
That's your bold prediction?
That's my bold, yeah. 10 touchdowns. I mean, the guy barely played the last 2 years, so...
Just last year. He was a rookie last year.
I got you. Was it last year?
Mm-hmm. But he was hurt most of the year, and then he ran like a wrong route or something, and then
they pulled him.
They pulled him, yeah. Like he had one game where he had like 1 catch for 8 yards and a touchdown. But so Jacoby Myers last year as a undrafted free agent rookie had 26 catches for 359 yards. But he's 6'2", 200 pounds, so he's not the smallest guy in the world either. Like, I don't know. He could be all right. Oh, Gunnar Oswalski is the other guy they've been hyping up in camp, but that's that
Gunnar. It's got a good name.
Yeah, but he was a punt returner last year.
I don't know. I've seen Cam Newton make pretty crappy receivers that are huge look good. So all those years of God, what was that guy's name?
Calvin Benjamin.
Yes, Calvin Benjamin.
7 touches.
Yeah, and Harry's like 6'4", like 230. Like they took him in the first round. Like they have to do something with him, or else it's like the biggest bust Belichick's ever taken.
Nah, he's taking worse.
Not in the first round, especially not at a skill position. Usually Belichick's like all skill positions late.
I don't know. They took Lawrence Maroney, and he wasn't that great either.
Well, yeah, I don't even know who that is. So
he was the University of Minnesota running back.
Okay.
But I don't think he ever rushed for like more than 800 yards with the Patriots, like in a season. I think his rookie year he had like 750 or something like that. He's okay. Like he was one of them guys, like you draft him, like you thought he was gonna be a good running back because he was a good college running back, and then he like didn't do anything. Do you remember Marion Barber?
Yeah.
Yeah, he played with like Cowboys. Him and Maroney were both like they both play at Minnesota at running back at like the same time. It's kind of weird, but
What'd you have for the Jets?
Jamison Crowder finishes the year with 95 catches or more.
What do you have last year?
80 something, I think.
Gotcha.
Let me look real quick. But
It's
actually,
78.
yeah. So last year in the games he played with Darnold, he was on pace for like 1,100 yards and like 90 catches. But then you obviously had like the 3 or 4 games where Trevor Siemian and Luke Falk played.
Right.
They didn't target him at all. And he's the only wide receiver coming back, literally.
Yeah, that team's going through an overhaul for sure. And they seems like they scheme to use him.
Yeah. Well, if you look back when Gase was with the Dolphins, Jarvis Landry was really good in the slot those years as well. That's when he was like a Pro Bowler. So it could be a little bit of the same thing. And Crowder was actually really good in the red zone last year somehow.
Which is crazy.
Like he's not like a real red zone threat, but that's like the only person Darnold, the only 2 people Darnold felt comfortable throwing the ball to last year was Jamison Crowder and Ryan Griffin, the tight end. Those were the 2 guys in the red zone.
I had Herndon top 10. I just feel like, kind of like you said, they don't have anyone else to throw to. I don't know how Crowder was a red zone guy, but I feel like if Herndon is healthy, he's the red zone guy. That Mims guy could be good, but he's hurt already, I think.
Like, there's no way Mims is good. Like in his first year. Like he played at Baylor. He doesn't know how to run a route to save his life. He's just fat. He's big and fast. That's all he is. So it's like, I guess like you could kind of compare it to like DK Metcalf last year, where he's big and fast. Like, and he can run and go. But like,
Darnold's
not as good as DK was.
Yeah, and Darnold's not Wilson, so.
Yeah, like, I don't know. Darnold.
Herndon's one of those guys that like dart throw late tight end that I like.
Yeah.
I think he's going at like 20 or something like that, so he's pretty much free. And I don't know, when he did play, like he looked great. Like eyeball test was good. So
his rookie year he is good. Then last year he played 1 snap.
Yeah, I had him on my bench for a lot of last year, like thinking he was going to come back and take over my tight end position, but that didn't work out.
And that's part of what I worry. I'm not big on Herndon. I think he's kind of getting a little bit overhyped, though. I think
at 20, though, like, I mean, is that even hype?
I don't know. Like, they got Ryan Griffin just did too good. Like while he was gone, like not that Griffin's great or anything, but I think Darnold trusts Griffin at least. So and Griffin's a better blocker. I think you got the Adam Gase effect too.
Right.
If he can screw somebody up, he's going to do it.
Yeah, I kind of try to stay away with everyone on the Jets because of Gase.
Like I was okay with Le'Veon, and then they added Frank Gore, and now he traded for Kalen Ballage, so now he's probably going to give each of them like 10 carries a game.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. It seems like that guy's just trying to like see how long he can last in the NFL, like making no sense.
I don't know. Like he's just trying to get fired, I think, at this point.